My name is Remy Durand. I am a business student in France, and I wanted to know what is the succession plan?
Good morning. The question of what is the succession planning? The succession planning is a process of systematic developing and identifying the qualified people for the important positions. The certain positions we need to find the candidates within the organizations in advance. We need to have the pool of qualified candidates so that when that positions are vacant, then we can fill in that position right away. The second approach is to find the people outside the organization where the competencies are quite different, where the economy is quite demanding different skills. So we need to look at the qualified pool from outside the organization. So there are two approaches: internal development or external recruitment, and develop them to fit the organization. The key words are systematic, process, developing, and selecting the people.
Okay, and why is it important?
It is important in these days, because the business need continuity. Certain positions we cannot leave it vacant. We need the continuation of the person right away. And certain people get retiring, so they might not continue the employment contract. And certain people may leave the organization too early, so we need to have the qualified pool of people already in place in the organizations. And as I mentioned, in certain new positions, they require special competencies that we don't have them at all in our organization. So we need to identify qualified people in advance.
Okay, so who should be qualified for being a successor?
Before we talk about the who, we need to look at the positions. We need to look at the competencies of that positions, qualifications of that positions, and special requirement for that positions. When we have all the lists of that qualifications, competency, specialties of that post, then we can look for the qualified people first within the organizations. If we can fill about 2 or 3 become successor of that position, we are okay. If we don't have enough, the pool, we look outside our organization who have that kind of qualification.
Finally, how do we trust the qualification?
The way to test the qualifications, we have a few techniques. The first technique, we can have the psychometric test, so that we can know what their personality, the traits of the candidates. The second one, for the functional competencies, we can look at their work experiences, or they can have them do the scenario, or we call the in-trade test. It's a different kind of test. In certain positions, we need them to analyze the real business issues and present their thinking, at prompt. So because we want to know their presentation skill as well. The third approach is perhaps the role playing, because we need to have to assess them whether they can work well with the people, with the real situation or not. So a number of techniques may need it for certain positions, so that we are sure that we have the right candidates or the right successors in the position.